regret leaving my husband. Look at me now. God.
Studies show that about 70% of divorces are initiated by women. That means in most cases, it is the woman who walks away first. But here's the twist. Many of these same women, months and even years later, quietly admit, oh, maybe I should have waited. Maybe we could have fixed it if I tried a little harder. Not because they didn't have a valid reasons, but because the reality of life after divorce often feels different from what they imagined. Let's talk about why it happens. Number 1, emotional overload, not lack of love. Most women don't leave because they stopped loving their husbands. They leave because they are tired of explaining, tired of feeling unheard, tired of holding a relationship together alone. At that point, living feels like a relief. It feels like peace had finally come. But later, when emotions settle, some begin to whisper, maybe I overreacted. Maybe I just needed space, not a divorce. Emotional burnout can disguise itself as the end of love, when really it's a cry for help that was never answered. 2. Modern empowerment misunderstood. We live in a world that tells women, you don't need a man to be happy. And that's true. No woman should ever stay in a toxic or abusive marriage. But sometimes that message gets twisted. Women begin to mistake temporal unhappiness for permanent incompatibility. And when the people around you keep saying you deserve better, you start believing that living is the only path to peace. But months later, when the house is quiet and there is no one to share your thoughts with, you begin to say, maybe I could have fixed it. Maybe communication would have solved that silence better. 3. The harsh reality after divorce. When the harsh reality after divorce begins to hit, they begin to regret. At first, divorce feels like freedom until the bills start coming in, until you have to make every decision alone, until you realize the kids miss their dad, until you lie awake at night wishing someone was there to talk to. That's when some women begin to say, oh, I didn't think it would be this hard, because peace is beautiful, but peace can also feel lonely. 4. Missing the familiar, not the man. After divorce, many realize it's not always the man they miss. It's the life they miss, the life of marriage. The morning tea, the laughter over small things, the shared routines, the comfort of knowing someone is always there to listen. What they miss is the companionship. Suddenly, the single life that looked so attractive from afar feels cold. And you hear women say, I don't want him back. I just miss what we had. That's no weakness. That's human nature. 5. When regret meets reflection. Time has a way of clearing the fog. After some months or years, reflection begins to whisper truth to your ears. Some women look back and say, maybe if I had a little more patience, maybe if we went for counseling, maybe if I had listened more instead of waiting to be heard. They start to see that their partner wasn't that bad after all. He was just human, just flawed, just trying in his own way. They start knowing that their partner was a good person even though he wasn't perfect. But by then, the bridge is already gone. It's late already. Number 6, the children factor. Nothing opens a mother's eyes faster than her children's pain. When kids start asking, why doesn't dad live with us anymore? Where is dad? Where has dad gone? Or did dad stop loving us? Then the guts or the guilt sinks in. That's when many realize divorce doesn't just separate two people, it divides a family. And the peace that was there is no longer there. The peace they thought they had found separately starts to feel heavy when it's weighed against their children. 7. Healing versus escaping. Here's the truth. Most marriages don't end because people stop loving each other. It ends because people stop understanding each other. They stopped communicating. They stopped being gentle. They stopped trying. Many divorces are not ending. People see them as escape routes. And when the emotion fades, regret often steps in. And you hear them begin to say, maybe healing together would have been better or easier than starting all over. Divorce isn't always a mistake. Sometimes it is necessary, especially when there is abuse or danger in the relationship. But for many, it happens in moments of deep hurt and temporal emotion. So before you leave, pause, think, ask yourself, am I walking away from pain or walking away from potential? Because peace doesn't always come from walking away. Sometimes it comes from staying long enough to heal. It comes from communication. It comes from understanding. It comes from rebuild. Please subscribe to this channel, turn on the post notification, like and share this video. See you in the next one.